My boat is almost completely made of fiberglass, although there are a few pieces of wood trim on it. There's a step like this on either side of the back deck, which makes it easier to get on and off the boat from the dock, and also some steps going up to the fly bridge. I got this teak care kit from Starbright, mainly because it was a 3-step process and I felt that the wood was too oxidized, too heavily weathered to be just rubbing oil into it. The first step is a cleaner, and you're supposed to put that on with a brush, or in my case, one of those dishwashing sponges that has an abrasive stuff on one side. And the more you scrub at this point, the better. Once you're through with the cleaner, then you have to wash it off with a lot of clean, fresh water. And I can see a lot of stuff coming off of the wood here. I'm not sure if that's all just dirt or if it's also a layer of oxidized wood at the top. But then you have to let the wood dry before the next step, which is a kind of bleach that the instructions say brings out the grain and the beauty of the wood. They recommend rubber gloves to protect your hands from the bleach, but in my case, I'm using a plastic bag. These are the steps going up to the fly bridge, and they've already been cleaned and have dried, and now I'm putting on the bleach. I'm trying to get the front and back and underside of the steps as well as just the top. And once I'm through with the bleaching, then the remainder of the bleach gets rinsed off again with a lot more clean, fresh water. And then that has to dry before the final step, which is applying some oil to the wood. The steps have already had one coat of oil applied to them, and it just soaks right in. They've been coated with the oil just probably 2 hours earlier, and it looked just like where I've put the oil on already, and the wood just soaks it right up. I'm trying to get every place, the underside, the front and the back. I really should have taken the wood off to do this, but everybody is a bit lazy, and that will have to be on my list of things to do once I've done a million other things. But the oil just soaks right into the wood. There was a third coat that I eventually put on a couple days later. You don't have to worry about putting it on too thick or having a layer of liquid oil sitting on top of the wood, because it will soak right into the wood. Here's that step at the side. And the oil is the part where you really get a permanent nice look from the wood. You can see how it goes from being gray to being a nice brown wood color. And just for comparison, I left this step untreated. And this is actually 2 months after the final treatment with the oil. And it doesn't look like it's got oil on it. It just looks like very healthy newer wood. There's no liquid or nothing comes off on your fingers. It's dry. And the oil is now deep into the wood, and it's not going to come off on your feet or anything that you would set on the steps. I should warn you that the oil stains fiberglass. Here you can see the difference. Much nicer after the treatment. And here's a close-up of how the oil has stained the fiberglass there. I would have been a lot more careful if I had known. This deck is probably going to get some non-skid at some point anyway, so I'm not too worried about it.